We're joined by Washington Lee University head men's cross country coach Brandon Spalding. They were picked number 1 in the preseason poll. Coach, you came through with a title last year from the ODAC championship, and that led to other good things at the Southeast Regional. Talk a little bit about last season's experiences, the success that you had last year, but also what you think those experiences are going to do coming into the 2016 campaign.
Well, last year was an exciting season for the guys. We challenged ourselves with the schedule approach that we took. Winning a championship for the first time in 8 years was a big step in the right direction. For our seniors last year, they were 5th at the conference meet as first years. So to see that progression over my first 3 years of the program was really exciting. When I came in 2013, it more started with just a belief that we could get to where we were last year. We raised the level of expectations. We trained a little harder each year. And it's been nice to see the progression that we have had in 3 years. And overall for our seniors who graduated last year, just the progression that they've had of being 5th as first years to getting all the way to a conference championship. As seniors, it let the younger guys in our program believe that that this is a step that could be made, and now that we're at this level, hopefully it's an area we continue for the next few years. Well, the guys report on Saturday, first practice on Sunday, so I'm excited to have everybody back on campus. We're a very veteran-led team this year. As opposed to previous years, I've been hopeful about, well, we're going to be pretty good, but we need this first year to step up. This year, we know exactly who we are on paper. We're returning 9 of our top 10 guys. Losing Levi Warren was a big loss to our program, especially with his leadership. He was a national qualifier, multiple-time all-region and all-conference, accomplished a ton for the program, but having guys like Max Strahler back, Ian McDonald leading our 1-2 punch is going to be huge for us. Cooper Baird, Philip Harmon are 2 guys who really improved on the track this past winter and spring. Philip wasn't even in our top 7 this past year, and Philip ended up being our 4th best 5K runner just in the spring last year. So we're really expecting a lot out of Phil this year. But overall, when we get into the season, we're really just trying to improve on what they've already accomplished over the summer, still continue to develop our aerobic base. We'll kick off the season September 1 at Dickinson College before we turn around for the preview on the 9th. After that, we have about a 3-week period where we'll compete at a meet at Shenandoah at the end of the month, but I'm going to hold out probably some of our couple of our top guys in preparation for competing at Paul Short up at Lehigh on October 1st. That'll be a great first test for us. We'll see a number of ranked teams there and a number of teams from a number of different regions that have national exposure, national rankings, and I think that'll be a key point in our schedule to find out what kind of team we really are going to be for 2016.
Talk a little bit about the first event coming up this year, which is actually a preview meet for the championship that you're in charge of setting up the course. What do you expect to see out of that, and what you want to learn from having all the teams or most of the teams in the ODAC be able to run on that track?
Yeah, as you mentioned, we're going to be hosting at Vista Links Golf Course in Buena Vista. They've been great with working with us as far as setting up the course. With having our 3rd-year housing on campus, we had to kind of readjust where our course was going to be, and Coach Mike and I have done a lot of work this summer and even into the spring on making a course out there. We feel it's a very fair course for the conference. It's a 2,000-meter loop. Should be very spectator-friendly by the time we get to championships. But overall, with the teams competing there, the ODAC preview in the last few years has almost been a glorified practice. Teams are trying to achieve different things for that point of the season. But really what we're looking for is just get to know the course. I think it's a great opportunity for the conference to come together. There's good camaraderie in the conference with the coaches and the athletes just to see everybody, see what they got. Now granted, everyone's not going to be showing their cards in that second weekend of the season, but we're excited just to get everyone on the course, see how the course flows, and if we need to make adjustments leading to the championship, then that's things that we'll do kind of behind the scenes in preparation for the end of October.
What do you expect to see from the conference this year from the returning athletes that you know that are coming back to schools around the league?
Well, I think it'll be just as competitive as last year. Looking at the conference overall, I believe there was only 4 seniors on the men's side in the top 20, so it's a lot of the same faces. Obviously, a guy like Harrison Toney graduating I think a lot of coaches might be happy about that. Harrison's been a pretty dominant runner in the last few years, but knowing that we only lost 4 seniors in the top 20, it's still going to be very competitive. I've constantly reminded our guys that if we run the race 3 different times last year, I think we have 3 different results. We only were fortunate enough to finish in front of Bridgewater by 2 points. It was 48 to 50 to 56 for Lynchburg. So just that point total, I think, was one of the closest in a number of years between the top 3 teams, and I really don't project that that's going to be any different this coming year. I think Bridgewater loses 1 in their top 7. I think Lynchburg loses 1 in their top 7. We lose 1 in our top 7. So each team's going to be very much the same. Now, granted, I don't know what they're bringing in from a first-year standpoint. They could have that impact the guy that makes up for that senior loss they have from the year before, but I still expect a very competitive meet. Looking at the point total that we scored last year, we scored 48 points, and if you take out the seniors from this past year, we still would score 48 points if we factor in our sixth runner into this year's results. So, looking at projecting a point total, I would say, 45 might be a magic number in the conference to win the title between those top three teams from the previous year, and who knows who's going to emerge even from that fourth and fifth place spots in the conference, leading into the championships.